it's time for men's basketball. Charger men looking to end the regular season on a positive note and still with a chance to make the Great Plains Athletic Conference postseason tournament. Lost by Hastings today with a win by Briar Cliff. I believe the Chargers have the doubleheader as they would be tied in the conference standings. So we'll just see how it plays out. Got to take care of business first. So that'll be piece of business number one at hand today for the Cliff. Celebrating Andy Geelan, Tony Bonner, Jackson Lamb, and Austin Ropeman on senior day today. Austin Ropeman graduating in 3 years, which is spectacular for the big man. But we'll take a look at this game today as the Chargers come in 15-14, 6-13 in the GPAC, a game behind Hastings in the standings heading into the final day. Doane is 7-22, 2-17 in Great Plains Athletic Conference action. These two teams obviously did play one other time this season. Doane was an 81-71 winner over the Chargers back on January the 11th, so Briar Cliff hoping to avenge that loss here on their home floor. We'll be playing without the services of Jackson Lamb tonight. Lamb was injured the other day in an off-the-court accident, so Jackson with a cast on his left hand will not be playing this evening. Take a look at the starting lineups for Coach Ian McKeithen and the Doane College Tigers. Out of Crete, Nebraska, 7-21 on the season, 2-16 in Great Plains Athletic Conference action. Anthony Larrabee wears number 3, a 6'1 junior from Omaha, Nebraska. Garen Pauley wears number 15, 6'5 senior out of Omaha. Joe Burt wears number 21. He's a 6'3 sophomore from Lincoln. Number 22 is Jackson Hare. Hare, a 6'4 junior from Omaha. And Miguel Lopez wears number 23. He's a 6'5" junior from the Virgin Islands. Anthony Larrabee, leading scorer for the Tigers, the lone double-digit scorer for Doane, averaging 16.1 points per contest. Doane scores 70. They give up 76.6. The Tigers wear black from top to bottom. Orange lettering and white trim with Doane written across the front with that same orange lettering and white trim. Briar Cliff will go with their home whites, the Cliff written across the front, outlined in blue. And for Coach Marcus Figuera and the Chargers, the starting lineup is as follows. Freshman Connor Groves gets the start, 6'1" tall out of Sergeant Bluff, Iowa. Groves has started 5 games already this season, so he'll slide into the starting lineup. Jaden Klein-Hesselink wears number 10. He's a 6'2 sophomore from Sheldon. Ethan Friedel wears number 22, a 6' junior from T, South Dakota. Number 24 is Nick Hoyt, a 5'11 freshman from Harrisburg, South Dakota. And number 25 is Big Austin Ropeman, a 6'8" junior from Pocahontas, Iowa. Chargers will let in scoring actively today by Ethan Friedel with 15.8 points per game. Jackson Lamb, of course, a leading scorer at 23.8. But again, like we said, Chargers without the services of Jackson Lamb today. So the active leading scorer is Ethan Friedel, 15.8 points per game. Jaden Klein-Hesselink with an excellent night on Wednesday night in the win over Jamestown. Klein-Hesselink had 26 to match Jackson Lamb with the game high honors for the contest. So maybe we can get another solid performance from Jaden Klein-Hesselink here tonight for Briar Cliff. Klein-Hesselink averages 12.6 a game. Big Austin Ropeman at 9.7, Nick Hoyt at 8.3, and Connor Groves at 7.9 points per game. Briar Cliff averages 87.7 points per contest. They give up 84 with an outside shot at the 8th and final playoff position in the Great Plains Athletic Conference postseason tournament. That would be a date with number 1 Morningside, well, number 2 in the country, but Morningside has won the GPAC outright with their 17-2 record going into today. They'll take on Northwestern yet this afternoon. But they finished with a 4-game lead over Dakota Wesleyan as we head into that final day of play. Dakota Wesleyan does take on Hastings, so a chance for the Broncos to fall and a chance for the Chargers to win today would put them across town at the Rosen Verdorn Sports Center to open up the GPAC postseason tournament. Big Austin Ropeman in the center circle for Briar Cliff. Jackson Hare will go for the Doane Tigers. Men's basketball senior day. Ropeman and Hare in the center circle. Mr. Referee puts the ball straight up, and we are underway, controlled by Anthony Larrabee and the Doane Tigers. Just underway It's men's basketball, Great Plains Athletic Conference style, and an offensive foul off the basketball will be whistled against Garen Pauly and be his first. So the Chargers will have the first opportunity at points today as Jaden Klein-Hesselink and Nick Hoyt will bring it up the floor. It'll be Hoyt working from right to left in the first half as always here at the Cliff. Hoyt catches far side, fires for three, and scores to get the scoring started. Nick Hoyt from deep in the corner. 3-0 Briar Cliff. Bounce to Jackson Hare. Over to Larrabee. A lot of familiar names for the Doane Tigers that have been around for a while. Fadeaway jumper in the paint from Garen Pauly, no good. Just haven't been able to piece together a lot of consistency this season, have the Tigers, but they did beat the Cliff last time around. So there's that. So Briar Cliff's got to avenge a loss here. Austin Roteman in the paint. Roteman takes a few dribbles. Little right hand baby hook, and it's good. Nice post move by Austin Roteman. Going to his bread and butter. He can step out and hit the three from on occasion, but he likes to go to work in the paint. It's 5-0 Briar Cliff. A minute and 10 seconds in. Larrabee looks for his screen from Garen Pauly. Gets it. Larrabee gets underneath and pops it into the corner for Joe Burt. Burt will hand it off. Lopez takes over. Lopez steps his way into the paint. Gets the basket in the end one coming on for Miguel Lopez. Foul to Connor Groves, his first, team's first. So it'll be Lopez at the free throw line, 65% free throw shooter on the season. Free throw is good. Lopez rattles it home, and it's 5-3. So Klein-Hesselink will bounce it into Nick Hoyt. Then the Chargers go back to work. Hoyt being guarded by Lopez. Hoyt squirms free towards the top of the key over to Klein-Hesselink, who will hand it back to Nick Hoyt. Across the top for Ethan Friedel. Friedel hits the cutter. Roteman got in a little too deep and will pop it out beyond the arc. Hoyt thought about a three, but will back it up with 10 on the Chargers shot clock. And Klein-Hesselink will take over. He'll fire for three. Top of the key and score. Jaden Klein-Hesselink for three. And it's 8-3. 2 minutes in here to the first half. Larrabee wants a three on the wing. No good. Klein-Hesselink clears the rebound for the Chargers. And he'll turn it up across to the half-court stripe. Onto the left wing. Hoyt at the point, bounces down to Roteman. Roteman got Lopez to leave his feet, then he's got all the room in the world to take a dribble underneath the basket and convert a reverse lay-in. So it's 10-3. Jackson Hare holds about 8 feet beyond the arc. Joe Burt down to Lopez, just outside the elbow. Lopez will back his way in on Groves. Lopez lost the handle, drawing the double team. Now he'll fade away and shoot, no good. Austin Roteman goes up for the rebound, and Jaden Klein-Hesselink will bring it into the front court for Briar Cliff. Klein-Hesselink stops the dribble. Hoyt over to Friedel. Friedel thought about a long three, stepping into it, but can't. Roteman will take the three up top, no good, off the side of the rim. And it's controlled by the Tigers, where Larrabee has it at the top of the key quickly. Larrabee now backs out of it. Lobbed into Pauly. Pauly over to Larrabee. Larrabee will dribble around the top of the circle. Bounce it down to Jackson Hare. Hare goes right, draws the double team, throws through the paint where a foul is coming. As Garen Pauly caught the basketball, I think it'll be Klein-Hesselink. It'll be his first. Team's second. So Joe Burt will inbound with 16:46 to play in the first half. Larrabee catches in front of the student section. Still kind of assembling here. Pauly cuts underneath. Gets the pass and the open basket. He's able to turn around, shoot, and score. It's 10-5. Hoyt across the top to Friedel. Lobs into Roteman. Roteman has got all the position of the world. Can't make the basket. Good play nonetheless. I'll have to go back to that because Roteman's doing a good job of creating some separation between him and his defender. So it's Doane Tiger basketball, 16-10 to play in the ball game. We're in the first half here of the ball game. Larrabee, little runner, too high off the window, can't bank it in, no good. Rebounded by Friedel. Hoyt ahead of traffic, We'll slow it up on the wing, throw it back to Roteman, who gives it over to Ethan Friedel. Friedel to Roteman. Roteman takes a dribble, tries to lay it in on the right side where he's fouled. The Doane Tiger foul will be to Garen Pauly and be his second. So Austin Roteman to the free throw line. 63% free throw shooter on the season. Roteman's free throw is good. So Austin with 5 early points. Tony Bonner, fresh haircut and all, into the lineup. In for Connor Groves. Bonner with 8 points off the bench the other night against Jamestown, and just solid hustle play. Made a big difference down the stretch as Roteman's free throw is off the mark. Hoyt tried to pop it out of Lopez's hands. Lopez does get it back, and Doane will keep it, trailing 11-5. Burt picks up his dribble and has Larrabee. Larrabee looks over to Lopez. Lopez out beyond the arc. Pauly sets a screen. Larrabee dribbles around it. Klein Hesselink fights through it. Jackson Hare backs in. Now he'll turn to his right and shoot and score. Nice play by Jackson Hare. 11-7. Charger basketball with Klein Hesselink. Hoyt to Friedel, down to Bonner. Bonner looking to body up and back his way in. Does so. Turns to his left. Beautiful move by Bonner and a nice basket. Well done, Big Tony Bonner. Just consistently good right around the bucket and doesn't really take an errant shot very often. He knows his strengths. If he doesn't have it, he'll throw it back out. So a nice play by Bonner. Burt along the baseline to Pauly for a mid-range jumper, no good. Ball flies out around the free throw line for Larrabee. Larrabee down into the corner. Jackson Hare takes a few dribbles into the paint. He'll leave it off for Lopez for 3 up top, no good. Rebound, batted away from Klein Hesselink over to Nick Hoyt. So the Chargers have it. Good job by Klein Hesselink to spot his point guard, know that he could bat it there. Bounced again down to Bonner. Bonner backs it on Lopez, spins right this time and banks it in. Tony Bonner with a nice play. 15-7 Briar Cliff. Hare to Larrabee. Larrabee in the near corner, looking to bring it back up towards the top. He'll spin around and find Jackson Hare. Looks down at Pauly. Pauly doesn't have a whole lot to do, though. On that block, Bonner's got him covered up pretty good. Lopez stands top of the key. Now he'll use his dribble. Free throw line jumper over Austin Roteman, no good. Roteman just kind of dared him to take the shot, and he did, being open, but not a lot doing. Klein Hesselink on the drive, cut off. Roteman open for 3 up top, no good. Bonner fights for the rebound, but Joe Burt out jumped him to it. 13:35 to play in the first half. Larrabee to the hole, no good. Defended pretty well by Roteman, and Friedel comes out with it ahead to Klein Hesselink. Coach Ian McKeithen looking over his team as the ball comes right in front of him. Klein Hesselink to Friedel. Friedel back to Klein Hesselink. Thought about a 3 in the corner. Can't take it. Good defense by Garen Pauly. Into Bonner. Bonner backs in. Bonner had it taken right off his hands and away by Jackson Hare. Turnover to Doane. 3-pointer on the way for Larrabee. Good. Anthony Larrabee. And a timeout on the floor with 13:02 to play here in the first half. 15-10 on the Heartland Chiropractic Associates scoreboard. Be right back. Welcome back to the Newman Flanagan Center. 12:58 to play in the first half. Briarcliff 15, Doane 10. Klein Hesselink picks up his dribble. Groves back into the ball game for Briarcliff. Will Johnson in as well. Drive by Klein Hesselink, no good. Put back Offensive rebound and bucket for Tony Bonner. Chakude Onwamare. I knew I'd get it right. I'm determined to get it right. Onwamare for Doane into the ball game. Onwamare is 6'6" junior from Tacoma, Washington. Batted away by Groves. He's got the steal. He cuts to the right side for the lay-in. Good! Connor Groves with a steal and the basket. 19-10. Points off of turnovers, always huge. Max Mason into the lineup for the Doane Tigers as well. 6'6" sophomore from Ponca, Nebraska. Jumper at the free throw line, no good by Larrabee. Mason with a rebound. And we've got a travel, and the Chargers will have it. Briarcliff will take over. Just the second turnover against the Tigers today. So Onwamare will have the assignment of Tony Bonner as Bonner sets a screen. Friedel pump fakes at the top of the key into Bonner. Bonner backs his way in, now shoots and banks it in. That a boy, just keep feeding Tony Bonner. 8 points for Bonner. Onwamare to Tyler Sullivan. Sullivan throws far side for Zach Witters. Into Onwamare. He wants to back in. Onwamare and Bonner body one another up. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebound of Will Johnson for the Chargers. Johnson, a 5'11 junior from Harrisburg. Friedel for three in transition. Swish for Ethan Friedel. Beautiful shot. 24-10 Chargers. Coach Figuera encouraging his troops to dial it up a notch here on Senior Day. Chargers playing without Jackson Lamb. So Connor Groves into the starting lineup as Onwamare throws it away. It'll be a backcourt violation as it's touched up by Tyler Sullivan. And the Chargers will have it. Big Austin Roteman back in for Tony Bonner as he gets some nice encouragement from Coach Marks Figuera. Big guy himself enjoys that post play. And he knows his team's a bunch of running and gunning dudes, but still, whenever they get the points from the posts, that'll always make Coach Figuera happy. Klein Hesselink on the wing. Back to Friedel up top. He lobs into Roteman. Roteman's got it easy, too, as he cut towards the basket. Roteman with 7, Bonner with 8, so 15 from the post of the 26 points by the Chargers so far. Matt Hagedorn in the lineup, 6'5 sophomore from Norfolk, Nebraska for the Tigers. Three-pointer off the mark up top from Larrabee. 26-10 BCU. Johnson looks to the right wing to Friedel. Friedel back to Will Johnson. Johnson looks at a few cutters. Worked inside to Roteman for another basket. Another good cut. (28-10). Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Larrabee will be leaned on and fouled by Groves. That'll be Groves' second. Quinn Vesey into the lineup for Briarcliff. Vesey is 6'1 freshman from Indianola, Iowa, the Indianola Indians program. They got a very solid sports program down in Indianola. 4A team here in the state of Iowa. That'll be, Vesey will get the personal foul. Team's fourth. So Zach Witters will throw it in for the Tigers. Larrabee cut off by Vesey. Works around a Hagedorn screen. Larrabee drives and works his way for a right side lay-in. Good effort by Anthony Larrabee just to kind of continue forward. And hey, look, there's the hoop. He's obviously well aware of where the hoop is. Solid player. Klein Hesselink drives. He lays it up, falling away from the basket. Roteman collects the miss and follows it up with a make of his own. Austin Roteman with 11. 30-12 Briarcliff. knowing full well you got to win today to give yourself the opportunities. We'll keep track of the Hastings-Dakota Wesleyan game throughout the day today, as that game is the difference. Isaiah Sykes into the matchup for Doane. Three-pointer far corner, no good. High arcing three. Ball batted around in the hands of Austin Ropeman. Foul on the play as Johnson tried to work it up the floor. The foul will go to Tyler Sullivan as first. Right now just underway out in Hastings. Dakota Wesleyan up 3-2, 90 seconds in. That's at last update anyway. We'll keep these scores as updated for you as possible. Hoyt steps to the right with a dribble. Three-pointer off the mark. A foul on the rebound. I believe it'll go to Matt Hagedorn, who had kind of hooked Austin Ropeman. That is the case. Hagedorn's first, team's third. So the inbounds play finds Quinn Vesey. Vesey up high to the point for Ethan Friedel, who turned toward the hoop, had it batted out of his hands. Now foul coming, I think, on Jackson Hare, trying to reach around and knock it out of the hands of Ethan Friedel again. Garen Pauly into the lineup. Pauly playing with 2 fouls already here at 8:30 to play in the first half. He'll have to be careful. Deep into the backcourt for Jaden Klein-Hesselink. Klein-Hesselink starts a drive, gets to the right side and around his defender, but the layup falls off the front of the rim, no good. Sykes has it quickly to the right wing for the Tigers, and now thrown back up top for Sullivan, fed inside for Pauly. Pauly back to the top for Jackson Hare. He'll drive on Klein-Hesselink. Fadeaway, no good. Hit the square and right of the hands of Friedel without touching any iron. Friedel hits the cutting Ropeman free throw. Lay-in, no good off the front of the rim, but the shot you want, no doubt about it. Witters cuts in and through the paint now. A little fadeaway inside the elbow, good for Zach Witters. 30-14 with 7:35 to play here in the first half. Klein-Hesselink pops it back out to Nick Hoyt. Hoyt to Friedel. Friedel wants a three. No good. Nice offensive rebound by Quinn Vesey. Second chance opportunity for Briar Cliff. Friedel hits Ropeman, who faked on a screen and then released towards the basket. Coach Figueroa wants a timeout. He'll get one. But a lot of coaches like to use a timeout coming off a very positive play to bring some energy back into the huddle. That's what Coach Figueroa will do with his team leading 32-14. 7:26 to play in the first half. Chargers shooting well. 14 of 23 for 61%. The Doane Tigers 6 of 19 for 32%. From beyond the arc, Briar Cliff 3 of 7. And Doane 1 of 5. From the free throw line, Chargers 1 of 2. Doane has hit their only free throw, but big stat early in this game, Briar Cliff out rebounding Doane 15-8. And points in the paint. Briar Cliff 22-8 over Doane. That's another one that's absolutely huge so far. Check out BCUchargers.com, the all-new look to the website. Boy, it's awesome. I clicked it up today, and yeah, it's so cool. Nice new outline and layout as the Charger Athletic Department upgrading the World Wide Web face. Got a lot going on this weekend. Men's and women's track and field at the GPAC Championships, baseball and softball. Got the wrestlers in action today. They finish second at the GPAC Wrestling Championships behind Concordia. But the Chargers and Coach Joe Privateer will be sending some individual wrestlers off to the NAI National Championships, which are just awesome. Jackson Hare, top of the key, 32-14. Briar Cliff. Hare penetrates. Cut off nicely by Nick Hoyt. Out to Witters. Witters to Pauly, back to Witters. Baseline jumper, Zach Witters. In and out, no good. Pop back to Witters. He'll drive again. Has to shoot over Bonner, no good. And Klein-Hesselink will pull it down for the Chargers. He'll fire along the far sideline, Ethan Friedel. Friedel to Bonner. Bonner caught it and was fouled immediately. The foul to Garen Pauly, his third, team's sixth. Miguel Lopez back into the ball game for Doane. Joe Cox into the lineup for Doane as well. Cox, a 6'5 junior from Aurora, Colorado. VC takes the inbounds play. Has Ethan Friedel. Bonner was going to set a screen. Bonner drives instead. Lay in no good after a strong dribble by Bonner. He'll hustle back defensively as Burt drives baseline, but he steps out of bounds. Briarcliff will take over. So Klein Hesselink will work the near sideline for Briarcliff. Klein Hesselink, top of the key, wants to drive all the way to the basket, puts up a runner. He'll be fouled on his way in. He'll have to earn him at the free throw line. I think Lopez will get this foul. He will. Lopez first, team seventh, so the Chargers will have bonus free throws every time they're fouled the rest of the half. Leading 32-14. So Klein Hesselink will step up. His free throw is good. Jaden Klein Hesselink with 4. 33-14. Klein Hesselink's second is no good. Little strong off the square. Caroms into the hands of Joe Burt. So Burt will start the dribble. Larrivee up to Lopez. Lopez back to Larrivee. Larrivee looks right baseline, cut off by Hoyt. Out to Lopez. Lopez, he wants it cleared out for him. He'll stop in front of the rim. Can't get the roll. Bonner with the rebound. Klein Hesselink will work it up. He wants to give it to Friedel. Friedel fires into Bonner. Back out to Friedel. Friedel was ready for a three, but a little too far back. He surprises Bonner with a return pass, but Bonner does make the catch and puts it in for his 10th point of the first half. So the Tony Bonner and Austin Roteman show continues. Friedel goes for the steal, but used a little too much body going through Jackson Hare. Friedel's first, team's fifth. Inbounds play on the baseline. Lopez looks up. VC goes for the steal, but can't get it. He ran out of room. So it'll be Joe Cox inbounding and putting it back in play. Larrivee wanted it, but it was touched by Nick Hoyt instead. So Doane keeps it. The shot clock of 20. Lopez hands it off. Larrivee stands top of the key, wanting to drive on VC. Stops at the free throw line, hits a nice little fadeaway jumper. Anthony Larrivee with 7. It's 35-16, 5:20 to play in the half. Friedel slows it down a little bit. He'll direct some traffic. As the Chargers spread out the floor with Bonner and Roteman both out there. Friedel top of the key, down to the corner for Roteman. Roteman looked in at Bonner, covered up pretty well. Friedel wants a three, no good. Lopez with the rebound, his 4th of the day. Larrivee looks to go one-on-one on Klein Hesselink. He'll find the cutter outside who traveled. Joe Cox didn't put the ball on the floor quick enough. So Joe will turn it over back to Briarcliff. 7th turnover. The half whistled against the Tigers. Friedel continues the dribble now to Jaden Klein Hesselink. Back to Friedel. Friedel looked into Bonner, had it batted down by Lopez, stolen away by the Tigers. Joe Burt. Burt at the free throw line. Burt continues to the block. Now throws it away. Quinn Vesey with a steal. (35-16) game, 4 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the first half. Friedel enters with a pass to Clyde Hesslick, who takes a dribble and gets to the bucket quickly for his 6th point of the afternoon. 37-16 Briar Cliff. Left off for Lopez as he dribbles towards the top of the key. Lost it momentarily, gathers it back in. 3-pointer for Burt, no good. Friedel with the rebound. Ethan's 4th rebound. 3 points, 4 rebounds for Ethan Friedel, handling the basketball a lot today. Friedel looked for a no-look pass down to Bonner and airmailed it. Bonner wears a bit of a smile as he comes to the bench. Will Johnson and Nick Hoyt back in the game for VC and Bonner. So 37-16. Lopez looked to hand it off, doesn't. Continues towards the bucket, shoots over Roman and banks it in from straight on. Miguel Lopez with 5. Johnson comes across the half-court stripe. Friedel looked to feed into the corner for Hoyt as he was about to draw a double team, but Hare kind of released off of that, and Hoyt will go into the far corner now. Friedel near side, baseline drive, kicks it back up towards the top for Johnson. Now to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink at the free throw line with 5, with 4. Hoyt will drive, look to punch it inside to Roteman. Roteman lost it, shot clock violation to Doane. They'll take over. So it'll be Witters. Jackson Hare off the drive. Will get to the front of the rim and put it in as Witters put it in his hands and he took over. Johnson to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink loses it out of bounds. Just too high of a pass for Will Johnson, trying to press a little bit. So the Chargers with a couple of turnovers here. 37-20 ball game as the Tigers look to chisel in a little deeper into that Charger lead. Coach McKeithen calls his play. Larrabee drives, puts it up as he falls to the deck. No good. Friedel comes out with a rebound. Friedel ahead to Klein Hesselink. Had to kind of turn and save it from being stolen. Back to Klein Hesselink. 2:20 to play in the first half. Friedel wants a 3. No good. Chargers have made just 3 3-pointers today, but leading. 3-pointer in the corner for the Tigers, no good, off the hands of Joe Burt, the left-handed shooter. And Hoyt will slow it down. He'll work it ahead to Will Johnson. Back to Nick Hoyt. Hoyt changes directions a few times on the dribble. Klein Hesselink thought about a 3. Into Roteman. Roteman backs it on Lopez. Gets him to leave his feet. Roteman's shot no good. Lopez with a rebound. Roteman on the foul. No? Called jump ball. Never mind. Austin was able to tie him up. So Will Johnson will inbound up top to Austin Roteman. Klein Hesselink looked at Roteman who cut. Couldn't get it to him quick enough. Johnson with a bounce pass to Friedel in the paint. He pump fakes. Now shoots. No good. Rebound poked around. Jackson Hare will pull it out of the air. Fed ahead to Lopez. Lopez takes the left side and lays it up and in. Friedel didn't want to pick up a silly foul. Lopez had earned himself the bucket at that point. So then you just make him concentrate and make it. He did. Johnson throws it away to Lopez. Johnson hustles back defensively, but the left side lay-in is good for Zach Witters, and Coach Figuera not happy. He'll take a timeout. A little sloppy play by the Chargers the last couple of possessions. So with a 1:08 to play in the first half, be a timeout on the floor. Mustangs of Morningside up 26-16 over Northwestern. About 7:11 to play in the first half up in Orange City. Concordia and Jamestown just underway. And it's Hastings 19-17 over Dakota Wesleyan. 8:58 to play in the first quarter there. And we'll keep tabs on all those scores throughout the afternoon, obviously. Still have one more women's game to go final. That's Doane College of St. Mary up in Sioux Center. That was a 3 o'clock tip-off. So Doane women in full control. Actually, they do win it. The final score there, 93-45. Dort's women get the win. So we'll make our way through the men's basketball slate on the final Saturday of the regular season. 1:08 to play here in the first half at the Newman Flanagan Center. And it's Charger basketball. Hoyt thought about a 3 in the corner. He's pinned in. He'll get rid of it to Austin Rotman along the wing. Klein Hesselink goes over to Johnson. Hoyt calling for it in the far corner. They don't see him just yet as Klein Hesselink drives. Johnson gets it into the hands of Hoyt, who's ready for 3 and knocks it down. Nick Hoyt for 3. His second 3 of the half. It's 40-24 with 35 seconds to play here in the half. Lopez hands it off to Larrivee. Out to Jackson Hare. Lopez sets kind of a screen. They worked around it either way. Hare stripped by Will Johnson. Johnson will pick it up and take off towards the hoop, or he'll be fouled by Anthony Larrivee. Larrivee just unable to establish any defensive position whatsoever because the play was happening so fast towards the basket. So Will Johnson will go to the free throw line with 19.7 seconds to play here in the first half. Three dribbles and a spin of the basketball for Johnson. Basket is good. Johnson's first point of the game. Second one on the way for Will Johnson. That's up and through as well. He hits both. 42-24. Shot clock is off for the Tigers. They can hold for the last shot. Make one good one here before the half ends if they so choose. Larrivee dribbling on Johnson. He'll back it up with 5. Larrivee now slides back. Works forward. Blocked down by Austin Rotman. And that'll be the end of the first half. The Chargers put together a pretty solid first half, led by the post play of Tony Bonner and Austin Rotman. Chargers lead 42-24 on our Highland Chiropractic Associates scoreboard. We'll put together the first half stats and the scoring for you. For our Square Tire halftime report. So it's 13 for Austin Rotman, 10 points for Tony Bonner, 6 for Klein Hesselink, 6 for Nick Hoyt, 3 for Ethan Friedel, 2 for Connor Groves, and 2 for Will Johnson. For the Doane Tigers, Anthony Larrivee with 7, Jackson Hare with 6, Miguel Lopez with 5, Zach Witters with 4, and Garen Pauly with 2. Shooting in the first half, Briar Cliff 17 of 31 for 55%, 4 of 10 beyond the arc, and 4 of 6 at the free throw line. For Doane, they were 11 of 31 in the first half for 35.5%. 1 of 7 beyond the arc. They hit their only free throw. Rebounding advantage to Briar Cliff 22-14. Briar Cliff with 5 offensive rebounds. Doane with 3. 13 assists to 7 turnovers for the Chargers, plus 7 in that. Always enjoy that if you're a coach. Doane minus 2 at 6 assists to 8 turnovers. Bench scoring 12-4 for Briar Cliff. Points in the paint 26-16 for the Chargers. Second chance points 6-0 for Briar Cliff, and points off of turnover 14-9 for Briar Cliff. Some other scores as we stand here in the G-Pack. All the women's games have gone final. So, 19-19 Hastings and Dakota Wesleyan. 7:44 to play in the first half. Out at Len Farrell Arena in Hastings, Jamestown and Concordia That's an 8-4 ball game. 15:45 to play in the first half of that one. We have, let's see, Morningside and Northwestern. It's Morningside 37 and Northwestern 24 with 3:49 to play in the first half there. Midland hosting Mount Marty as well. So that's the halftime scores from around the league. The Chargers need to win today, and Hastings needs to fall for Briarcliff to get the 8th and final playoff spot. So we'll be keeping track of that as we head into the second half. It's your halftime score. Briarcliff 42 and Doane 24 in the Square Tire halftime show. We'll be back just a few minutes on the Chargers Sports Network at bcuchargers.com. Welcome back to the Newman Flanagan Center for second half action here on Senior Day. It's Briar, Cliff, and Doane. Chargers have a 42-24 lead here at halftime. Austin Roteman with 13 points, Tony Bonner with 10. They lead the Charger endeavor for a victory here today and win and give yourself an opportunity to go to the postseason tournament. If Hastings would happen to fall to Dakota Wesleyan, which Dakota Wesleyan, of course, a top 10 program here in the country, so definitely an opportunity there for the Chargers. With that in mind, it's Hastings and Dakota Wesleyan tied at 19 with about 8 minutes to go in the first half of that one. So we'll take the wait and see approach there. And Chargers can just go out and do their business here, win a ball game, and then control what you can control, as a lot of coaches will say. Control the things you can and don't worry about the things you can't. Yeah, easier said than done, right? Well, so far so good for BCU. It'll be Doane Tiger basketball to start the second half, our final half of the regular season, final half of the year here at the Newman Flanagan Center. Even if the Chargers would make the postseason tournament, they would not get to host another ball game here at the Newman Flanagan Center. So that's always an unfortunate thought at the end of the year that we don't get to come back and do this again until next season. Larrabee for three to start the second half, scoring 42-27. Friedel has Groves set to shoot. Groves will shoot it. He's squared, and he nails it. Connor Groves for three. Good answer by Connor. He's got 5. So it's 45-27, just underway here in the second half. Fed into Lopez. His cutter is Garin Pauly. Pauly has the 2. Nice play by Garin Pauly. Wednesday would be the GPAC conference opener. Three-pointer in the corner, good for Nick Hoyt. The Chargers will have to do it without Jackson Lamb, though. But, hey, that's for other people to step up and be a difference maker, right? Not a lot of those on this Charger team, including Tony Bonner off the bench again today. Larrabee leans in at the free throw line and gets the floater to go through. 48-31. Chargers have control for the time being. Fed to Austin Roteman. He turns right now, spins to his left for a nice lay-in. Beautiful post move by Austin Roteman with 15. 50-31, 2 minutes gone here in the second half. Thank you to Square Tire, our halftime show sponsor throughout this campaign. We'll have our One-Eyed Jacks post-game show coming up. Half-price appetizers before and after Charger contests here at the Newman Flanagan Center at Faber Field and over at Memorial Field, wherever the Chargers, if the Chargers are hosting, it's good for half-price appetizers at One-Eyed Jacks. Tell them you're a Charger fan, they'll take care of you. Shot no good for Larrabee. Klein Hessling bounces in again to Roteman. He wants to turn left. He'll be fouled by Garin Pauly. That'll be Pauly's 4th. First whistled against the Tigers here in the second half. Austin Roteman will go to the free throw line. So Coach McKeithen with a bit of a decision to make with Garin Pauly, his senior from Omaha. How long he'll let him play through it doesn't look like very long, as Matt Hagedorn will check into the lineup for the Tigers. Roteman's free throw no good off the front of the rim. Miguel Lopez with the basketball. 7 points and 6 rebounds for Mr. Lopez tonight. Free throw line jumper for Hare is short, off the mark. Klein Hessling with a rebound and a foul from behind by Jackson Hare. His second, team's second. So the Chargers have the basketball with 17:15 to play in the game, leading 50-31. Friedel to Groves. Groves for another three. That one swished through as well. Connor Groves with 8 points on the afternoon. Getting the starting nod today, and we'll see a lot more three-pointers through that career of Connor Groves, no doubt about it. Lopez drives baseline and gets the lay-in from the left side of the basket. He and Ethan Friedel in a nice little battle. Friedel thought about a three. He'll look it off. Out to Klein Hesselink, back to Friedel. Chargers will build around Friedel and Klein Hesselink and Groves, along with Nick Hoyt next season. Got it, obviously, the freshman with the three-pointer from Rotman, no good. Hoyt and Groves as freshmen getting a ton of playing time and making a nice difference throughout different parts of the season for Briar Cliff. Larrabee, Hagedorn for three up top. The big man buries it. Matt Hagedorn for three. He averages 2.9 a game, so he wants to best that tonight by as many as possible. Rotman with the entry pass. Rotman out to Friedel. Friedel for three. No good off the front of the rim. Friedel has hit 1 3 tonight. Lopez will spin at the elbow. Back to his right now. Over to Larrabee on the wing for three. No good. Rebound poked into the hands of Ethan Friedel. Friedel with his 6th rebound. Over to Groves, down to Klein Hesselink, and now to Rotman. Rotman makes his move on Lopez. He backs him in and throws it up and over his shoulder and through. 17 for Austin Rotman, and a turnover by Doane going over the end line on the inbounds play. We'll give it back to Briar Cliff. Tony Bonner in for Austin Rotman. So Nick Hoyt will step over with 15 and a half to go in the ball game. To Bonner, to Friedel. Friedel sees an opportunity to drive and goes high off the window and lays it in. Ethan Friedel, as he hits the floor, he's got 5. 57-36. Tigers back quickly on the attack with Joe Burt to Jackson Hare. Now Lopez, he's left open for three, no good. Rebound to Connor Groves, he'll gather it in. An outlet to the far side sideline for Jaden Klein Hesselink. Back to Friedel, top of the key. Friedel drives again, setting up Groves in the corner for three, in and out, no good. Lopez skies for the rebound for Doane. 3-on-3 for the Tigers. It goes to Larrabee. Larrabee wanted to pitch it back to Lopez so he didn't travel. Groves comes out with a steal. Groves into the corner, will bounce it along the wing to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink to Ethan Friedel. He'll pop it into Bonner. Bonner makes his move. Little hook as he pushes it up towards the basket and through. Bonner with 12. 59-36. 14 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Chargers just want to take care of their part of business, as we've said today. Win and then let things shake out. Hagedorn for three, no good. Klein Hesselink with a rebound. Friedel and Klein Hesselink exchange passes. Back to Friedel, looking in for Bonner, overthrew him, goes to the deck. Hagedorn gets it, and Bonner will get the personal foul, still fighting for the basketball. Bonner's first. Team's first, just didn't want to give up on the play. So the team's first of the half. Max Mason back in the lineup for the Tigers. He'll inbound to Tyler Sullivan. Isaiah Sykes back in play as well. Zach Witter's in. Hagedorn stays on the floor, the only one for the Tigers, as Coach McKeithen brings 4 new players in. Witters stands at the top of the key after a screen, pops a jumper, no good. Offensive rebound and putback for Max Mason for his first basket of the game. Klein Hesselink and the Chargers on the attack, bounced off of Sykes' knee and out of bounds. Will Johnson in the lineup for Nick Hoyt. .59-38 game, 13:35 to play. Johnson bounces over to Klein Hesselink. Back to Will Johnson. Johnson calls for Friedel to come get it. He does. Back to Johnson, over to Klein Hesselink. Groves calling for it in the far corner. They don't get it to him just yet. Friedel for three, no good. Bounces up and over the glass and out of bounds. So Doane Tigers will have it. As Sykes works into a dribble across the half-court stripe and into the zone for Witters. Witters had a right side drive cut off after a few dribbles. Hagedorn looks at a face full of Tony Bonner. Now Mason drives baseline. He'll turn and push it towards the hoop with his right hand. No good. Klein Hesselink goes up for the rebound. His 7th to go along with 6 points. It'll go through Klein Hesselink's hands and over to Friedel. Back to Klein Hesselink. Back to Friedel. Back to Klein Hesselink. Down to Johnson. Klein Hesselink looking for threes. Straight on. No good. A little bit beyond the arc. Rebounded by Tyler Sullivan. Sullivan sees an opening. Works quickly to the left wing. Left out for Hagedorn. He'll fire for 3. Good. Big man with a couple of threes today. Matt Hagedorn. 6'5" sophomore. He'll settle back in to guard Tony Bonner. 59-41. Friedel to Johnson. Johnson fakes over to Groves. Sets up Klein Hesselink for 3 in the near corner. No good. Sullivan with the rebound. Sullivan does not have numbers. He will slow it up and hit the trailer Sykes. Sykes lost his footing. Johnson with a steal. He'll pop it up and over the defense to Connor Groves for a wide open left side lay-in. Groves with a bucket, and Connor Groves now with 10. 61-41. Approaching the midway point here in the second half. Sykes stands on the wing with his dribble. He pushes near side. Mason drives baseline lay-in, no good, and a late foul. We'll go to Bonner. His second, team's second. So it'll be Max Mason on the free throw line. 78% free throw shooter, but that's 7 of 9 on the season. Free throw is good for Max Mason. He's got 3 off the Doane Tiger bench. Roteman and Quinn Vesey back in the ball game. Klein Hesselink and Bonner will take a break. They get a 5 from Coach Figuera on the way by. Mason's free throw is good. He hits both. He's got 4. 61-43. Chargers have the lead. Clock runs at 11:35 to play in the first half. Roteman to Johnson. The cutter Vesey. Vesey will bounce it into the corner. Groves for 3. Can't get the roll. No good. Bounce straight up and then to the far side of the rim. Good look by Connor Groves, though. It's now 2 of 4 beyond the arc today. As Witters starts a drive, backing in Friedel. Friedel cuts him out of it. 3-pointer on the way, no good. From Joe Cox, rebounded by Vesey. Outlet to Johnson near side. Johnson finds Friedel on the wing. Friedel back to Will Johnson. To Friedel. He looks inside at Roteman, nothing doing. To Johnson. Johnson for 3, no good. Got it in a little deep on the square. Didn't have any room for the ball to maneuver as it falls into the hands of a Tiger. Witters directs some traffic as he wants right baseline. He'll be fouled by Will Johnson. His first and the team's 3rd. So Witters will inbound. 21 on the Doane Tiger shot clock as he goes in up top for Mason. Mason to Joe Cox, out to Isaiah Sykes. Sykes wants a 3. He'll take it and score. Isaiah Sykes for 3. 61-46, lead cut to 15. Chargers looking for some points here as Friedel puts a jump pass into the hands of Johnson. Down to Vesey in the corner, back to Will Johnson. Johnson with a few dribbles. And off to Friedel, into Roteman in the middle. To Vesey in the corner, set and open for 3, no good. Zach Witters with a rebound. 10 minutes to go in the ball game. We are at the midway point here of the second half. Witters continues his dribble and gets inside. He'll leave it off with a little bounce pass to Max Mason, whose basket is good. Mason with 6, and it's 61-48. Tigers on a heck of a run here. Friedel into the front court, had it taken away and stolen from behind by Tyler Johnson. Tigers can cut even deeper into the Charger lead. Fadeaway jumper. Witters, no good. Groves with the rebound. Coach Figuera says put on the brakes and let's run the offense. Far side for Friedel. He'll bring it back to the top of the key where he hands to Will Johnson. 20 on the shot clock. Friedel looked inside at Roteman. His pass is partially deflected, but Johnson gets it now into Roteman. Roteman goes right. Strong to the basket. Turns in towards the hoop. Can't get it to go. Gets his offensive rebound. Can't get it to go. Third time's the charm for Austin Roteman, and he's going to the free throw line. Foul to Max Mason, his first, team's third. So Austin Roteman with a 3-point play opportunity, working on a 20-point game and a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout. So Coach Figueroa will call his troops into the huddle. Hastings big over Dakota Wesleyan at half right now, 38-14 or 38-24. So the Hastings men know what they've got to do today to succeed. It's Jamestown leading at halftime, 46-35 over Concordia. And Mount Marty taking on Midland as well. Roteman's free throw is good. Hits the front of the rim and rolls in. (64-48). Big 3-point play for the Chargers. It's Mount Marty and Midland tied at 53 in the second half. 3-pointer up top for Sykes, no good. Friedel with a rebound. Friedel wants a three, straight on up top, no good. A rebound in the hands of Max Mason. One and done for the Cliff. 3-pointer for Mason is no good. Sykes does run down the rebound on the wing, though, so a second chance opportunity for the Tigers, trailing 64-48. Sykes pumps it out. Witters for three in the corner, good. Zach Witters for three. He's got 7. Charger lead cut back to 13, 64-51. VC gets the pass from Klein Hesselink after he picked up his dribble. 8 minutes to go. Hoyt near corner, dribbling back up towards the top. VC swings over to Friedel and into Roteman. Roteman draws the double team, had it poked away and stolen by Tyler Sullivan. Sullivan has a 3-on-1. He goes far side for Witters, defended beautifully by Friedel. Klein Hesselink comes out with the basketball. Klein Hesselink will slow it down now and wait for numbers. It's Friedel who pops into Roteman, had it stolen by Mason, who threw it off of Roteman. Out of bounds to Doane. Solid hustle play by Max Mason. Jake Carley checks into the lineup for Quinn Vesey. So the clock runs at 7:35 to go. Doane in control of the basketball. Trying to cut it down to a potential 10-point lead here. Sullivan will take a long 2 instead. Jumper off the mark. Rebounded by Mason. Saved into Joe Cox. Out to Sullivan for 3. Almost banked it in, no good. Joe Cox with another offensive rebound. To Mason at the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Fadeaway jumper at the free throw line for Witters, no good. Jake Carley with a rebound. He'll turn and hand it to Nick Hoyt. Plenty of opportunities for the Tigers. They come up empty. Carley to Klein Hesselink. Back to Carley. Back to Klein Hesselink. He looks near side now for Friedel. Back top side for Jaden Klein Hesselink. Friedel goes across the court with a pass to Hoyt, who's got to make sure his Nikes are in bounds. They do. Friedel open for 3. He'll spot. He'll shoot. No good. Carley tips the rebound, but it's pulled out of the air by Witters. Sykes on the wing. Sykes wants another 3. No good. And a foul inside underneath the basket. I think it'll go to maybe Jake Carley. He and Max Mason were tied up underneath. It will go to Carley. Carley's first, team's 4th. Anthony Larrivee back in the lineup for the Tigers. He'll do the inbounding. right at 6:30 to play here in the second half. Second half underway out in Hastings, 43-32. Broncos have the lead. They win their end, up a game on the Chargers in the standings. Larrabee set to inbound. Sykes gets a screen. He comes off it to make the catch. Sykes, little pass around his back to Mason, who works baseline. Now on Roteman, he'll shoot and fade away over Roteman and score with a right-hand hook. 64-53. Doane has trailed by over 20 today. They battled back to get it within 11. Klein Hesseling fires into Roteman, who is looking for a shooter in the corner, and there's nobody there. Hoyt was in the near corner instead of the far. Groves back into the lineup for Briar Cliff. 11th turnover of the day. Coach Figueroa wants a timeout. Time to regroup his team. 6:08 to go. It's 64-53 on our Heartland Chiropractic Associates scoreboard. Be right back on the Chargers Sports Network at bcuchargers.com. .608 to play, 64-53. The Chargers have the lead over the visiting Doane Tigers here at the Newman Flanagan Center. Chargers being led by Austin Roteman with 20. Tony Bonner with 12. Connor Groves with 10. Thank you to Townhouse Pizza and Lounge, our game sponsor today, Townhouse and Wheelhouse. Give Rick and his team a call. They'll set you up with some pizza and some wings. Townhouse Townhouse and Wheelhouse both with some great daily lunch specials. Of course, Wings Wednesday at the Townhouse. Max Mason will inbound on the far corner of the floor. He'll bounce it into Sykes, who will let it bounce all the way to the half-court stripe where he picks it up. So we cross the 6-minute mark. Chargers up 11, 64-53. Larrabee turns at the free throw line where he's fouled. Foul will go to Connor Groves, his third, team's fifth. Larrabee takes the inbounds play. He dribbles to the right elbow, stops and pops, no good. Ball batted back out beyond the arc. Three-pointer good for Joe Cox, his first three-pointer of the game. And Doane has cut the lead all the way to 8. 64-56, 5:35 to play. Every possession begins to loom large. Klein Hesselink on the drive. He stops. Look to throw it out to Groves. Joe Cox with the steal, but he stepped out of bounds. Coach Figueroa unhappy with Mr. Klein Hesselink, making his intentions known. Very directly, by the way. He didn't get the look that Jackson Lamb gets. He just got straight out. Hey, here's what you need to do. Groves over to Hoyt, down to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink comes to a jump stop, has Groves in the near corner. Groves jump passes to Hoyt. And a foul up top by Anthony Larrabee. Larrabee's second, team's fourth. Coach Figueroa calls the play. Nick Hoyt will throw it in to Jaden Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink to Nick Hoyt. Hoyt will take a right side drive where he's cut off. Almost threw it away. Friedel runs up the far sideline to get it. 8 on the shot clock. Friedel drives through traffic, trying to set up Groves in the corner for 3, but it's batted out of bounds with 5 seconds to go on the Chargers shot clock and a timeout by the Chargers. Coach McKeithen has 4 of them. Coach Figuera now with 2 left with 4:54 to play. And the Chargers lead is 64-56. Austin Roteman with 20 points and 5 rebounds. Jaden Klein-Hesselink, 6 points and 8 rebounds. Groves and Bonner both in double figures for Briarcliff. Anthony Larrivee with 12 for the Tigers, the lone double-digit scorer. But Miguel Lopez has 7 points and 7 rebounds to his credit today. Check that, 9 points and 7 rebounds for Miguel Lopez. Larrivee works it up the floor for Doane with 4:45 to go. Larrivee looks near side as he dribbles through traffic. Left out, long 3 coming top of the key, no good for Max Mason. Right to Joe Cox, whose putback is good. Cox with 5. 64-58. Tigers get even closer. Roteman out to Friedel. Friedel will drive. Bounce to Roteman. Roteman fouled by Joe Cox underneath. Roteman will have a chance at points at the free throw line. That'll be the team's 5th foul. So Austin Roteman steps up to the free throw line, working on a 20-point day. Big spin of the basketball for Roteman, and it's no good. Too strong. Jackson Hare back into the lineup for Doane. So Austin Roteman with 1 more as he gathers his breath and knocks this one down. Smooth sailing on that one, 65-58, so the Chargers get off that bugaboo of 64 points. Have been ailing them for a while. 4:10 to play. Chargers up 7. Doane has fought all the way back from being down over 20. Larrivee gets in deep. His lay-in attempt no good. Tried to bank it in. 4 minutes to go as Friedel will work it up. Friedel remains patient with the dribble. Thought about a long 3, won't take it. Klein-Hesselink back to Friedel. Friedel thought about a drive, cuts it off to Klein-Hesselink, back to Friedel. He was squared but doesn't shoot. Friedel works through traffic, shot no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Sykes, he's on the run. Sykes, Klein-Hesselink, one-on-one. Sykes over Klein-Hesselink, no good. Jaden Klein-Hesselink will pick up his 2nd foul and the team's 6th. So Isaiah Sykes will go to the free throw line. He's a 47% free throw shooter on the season, 21 of 45. And the free throw is no good. Second one for Sykes is good. He hits 1 of 2. He's got 4. And it's 65-59. Friedel with it up top. Friedel not really scoring as much as he's used to today, but 3-pointer from deep for Friedel, no good. Rebound poked around. He's had to do a lot of ball handling today and hand it out to his teammates, as he's done on a number of occasions, but it's a 6-point Charger lead. 3:05 to play. Larrivee up top, gets through traffic, puts in a leaner at the top of the key. It dies on the back of the square and falls through. Larrivee with 14. 65-61. Chargers at this point trying to just hold on. Roteman backs his way in. Roteman on Max Mason. Roteman works his way in, but the shot is off the mark. Joe Cox with the rebound and a double dribble by Joe Cox. The turnover back to Briarcliff. Latest update out of Hastings. Broncos lead 49-43, 11:55 to play there. A Hastings loss paired by a Briarcliff win is what we're looking for. Groves for a long three, no good. Anthony Larrabee with the rebound. 2:25 and counting. Chargers lead is 4. Three-pointer in the corner, no good by Joe Cox. Doane has outscored Briarcliff so far here in the second half, 37-18. Friedel, top side over to Groves in the corner, back to Friedel, across the top to Klein Hesselink. Klein Hesselink to Ethan Friedel. Back to Jaden Klein Hesselink, minute 50 to go. Klein Hesselink drives and finds his way to the front of the rim for an open lay-in. 67-61, huge basket for the Chargers. Remember, Coach McKeithen still has a number of timeouts as Joe Cox drives, gets the bucket as he falls to the deck and scores. Klein Hesselink gets through traffic, 67-63. Hoyt and the Chargers trying to end the season, regular season, with a victory. Klein Hesselink to Groves, back to Klein Hesselink. 7 on the shot clock, down to 5. He'll step into a 3. Good! Huge 3 by Jaden Klein Hesselink. He's got 11, none bigger than that. Lead back to 7 for the Chargers. Larrabee at the free throw line, shot off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Connor Groves. He'll step out and be fouled. That will just be the 6th team foul, or make it the 7th team foul by Doane, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Connor Groves. The foul to Jackson Hare is 3rd. Joe Burt back in the contest for Doane in place of Joe Cox, who absolutely played his tail off here in the second half. Groves open for 3, won't take it. He'll drive instead. That was the 6th foul. Sorry, I had it right the first time. And a foul on the play will be whistled to, I believe, Joe Burt. That'll be the 7th foul now. Burt picks up his first. Quinn Vesey back in the lineup for the Chargers in place of Austin Ropeman. (70-63). Klein Hesselink on the day is just 1 of 2 at the free throw line. He just hit the big 3 and the basket. 5 straight points by Briarcliff for Klein Hesselink. Make it 6 straight points for Klein Hesselink. 71-63. Second one on the way for Jaden Klein Hesselink. It's good. He hits them both. Isaiah Sykes back in the lineup for Doane. 72-63 game, 44 seconds to go. Groves and Friedel stick back defensively. Now they'll lag off and pick them up at half court. Witters to Larrabee, long 3, swish! Anthony Larrabee for 3. In the face of a Charger defender, and it's 72-66 with 37.5 seconds left. Full timeout on the floor, which means the Chargers can win or potentially lose this ball game on the free throw line. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to here. You have to make your free throws. Briarcliff on the day is 7 of 12 at the free throw line. So for the Cliff, got to execute the inbounds play and expect to be fouled, but still have to do the little things cleanly to get that opportunity. Six-point lead for Briarcliff. 37 seconds left. Hastings up 51-50, midway point of the second half over Dakota Wesleyan. Jamestown leading Concordia 51-38, 17.5 minutes to play there. And it's Morningside 77-59. trying to cruise their way to victory up in Orange City. Midland leads Mount Marty by 5 with 9 minutes to go down in Fremont. 37 seconds to play here. The Doane Tigers put on the full court pressure. Nick Hoyt can run the end line if he so chooses. Hoyt gets it into Friedel, who's fouled right away by Tyler Sullivan, his second, team's 8th. So 2 more fouls before the Chargers enter the double bonus. Friedel, an 82% free throw shooter. So Friedel will step up. 5 points this afternoon for Ethan Friedel. Free throw good for Friedel. He'll get another. He's got 6. 8 rebounds on the day, but 10 assists for Ethan Friedel today. So his performance may not stand out in the scoring column, but everything else he's done has stood out. And without Jackson Lamb today, Friedel, knowing he's got to step up big and hand out the basketball, he's done so. He hits both at the free throw line. It's 74-66. But again, Ethan Friedel today has 6 points. Make it 7 points. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. We might just get Friedel into a triple-double today. (74-66) with 36.5 seconds to play here on Senior Day at the Newman Flanagan Center as the Chargers fighting to maybe live to see another day. The women's team won earlier. Men's team going for the doubleheader sweep. Isaiah Sykes will hustle it up the floor for Doane. They trail by 8. Sykes gets underneath, almost threw it away. Larrivee wants a 3 from the near side, airballed into the hands of Groves. Groves will be fouled by Max Mason, his second, team's 9th. So Connor Groves will walk to the other end, but a solid second half by the Tigers just may not be enough, but they really played hard here. Record not really indicative of the effort they put out on a nightly basis. Groves free throw no good. Ball batted to Larrivee. Larrivee guarded by Vesey and Groves. That buys him a few more seconds. Mason to Burt for 3, in and out, no good. Mason gets the rebound. He'll pop it out to Sykes. Larrivee will drive. Larrivee out to Sykes, down to 9 seconds left. Sykes for 3, no good. Rebounded by, actually it goes through the hands of Klein Hesselink. Briarcliff will keep it. And Andy Gielen will come into the ball game. The senior for the Chargers out of Ruthven, Iowa. Tony Bonner will check in. And Austin Ropeman will check in. So the active seniors will get to finish the season on the floor for Briarcliff. Coach McKeithen will do the same. He'll bring Garen Pauly back out. Isaiah Sykes, a senior. So just 2 seniors for the Doane Tiger team. And Andy Gielen will dribble it out, and he will dribble the Chargers into a victory. Final score here at the Newman Flanagan Center. Briarcliff 74, the Doane Tigers 66. Chargers end the regular season 16-14, 7-13 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. And they send the seniors out today with a doubleheader sweep and a victory here at the Newman Flanagan Center. We'll take a look at the final statistics on the day here in our One-Eyed Jacks post-game report. Just got to get them all tallied up, and we can do so. The Doane Tigers finished the season 7-23 and 2-18 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. So the final stats for today's game on a 74-66 Charger victory. Austin Roteman shows the way with 21 points. He finishes with 5 rebounds. Jaden Klein-Hesselink with 13 points and 9 rebounds, so a rebound shy of a double-double for Jaden. Then it's Tony Bonner with 12. Connor Groves with 10. Nick Hoyt with 9. Ethan Friedel finishes with 7 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. Very solid day for Ethan Friedel. And 2 points for Will Johnson. For the Doane Tigers, they were led by Anthony Larrivee with 17. Miguel Lopez with 9. Lopez ended up with 9.7 rebounds. He leads the team with those 7 boards. 6 from Jackson Hare. 8 from Max Mason. 7 from Joe Cox. 6 for Jackson Hare. Garen Pauly with 4. Isaiah Sykes with 4. And that is your scoring for Doane. Team statistics for the day. As soon as the internet wants to play along, we'll have them for you. And why would it, right? Right when we need it. Why would it? Well, let's take a look at what we can here. Other scores from around the GPAC right now. Hastings 62-52 over Dakota Wesleyan. A Hastings win would push them into the GPAC tournament starting on Wednesday. So they lead by 10 with 5:59 to go. As the women left on the outside looking in, Midland gets that 8th and final playoff spot with their victory today and the tiebreaker over Briar Cliff. I was still trying to access these stats because the web feed went down. Now the Chargers led by Austin Roteman with 21. We know that much. Big day by Austin. Nice day by Tony Bonner off the bench for BCU. Midland leads Mount Marty 85-77. We know that much. And still trying. Well, got one more attempt here, and then we're going to give up. One more place, I can get the final stats. So if I can, I will. But the feed here inside the Newman Flanagan Center, I think, has, well, it's just not coming through. So with that, let's salute our seniors as game one of our doubleheader went to Briar Cliff 69-50. As we celebrate Alyssa Carley, Brianna Allen, and Sarah Dreckman, the ladies who suited up for the final time today here as Briar Cliff University Chargers. On the men's side, Andy Geelan, Tony Bonner, Jackson Lamb, and Austin Roteman, who will have graduated here from Briar Cliff University in just 3 years, which is awesome. Good on you, Austin Roteman. Way to set an example for the ones that follow with your academic success, and the way you did that, that's well done for Big Austin. So Austin and Andy Geelan, Tony Bonner, Jackson Lamb, the seniors today who experienced victory for the final time on the home floor here at the Newman Flanagan Center. That'll wrap it up for our coverage here on the Chargers Sports Network. We appreciate you joining us throughout the day today, throughout the season. Thank you to all of our sponsors, including Square Tire, One-Eyed Jacks, Heartland Chiropractic Associates, Townhouse Pizza and Lounge, and all of you that were a part of Charger Athletics this season, this basketball year in football. We thank you very much. been an absolute honor for me to don the microphone and bring you the home contest this year for BCU on the Charger Sports Network. Hope to be back next year and bring you many more Briar Cliff victories in the future. So I thank you very, very much for welcoming my voice into your homes and onto your smartphones or whatever it may be. Growing up a Charger fan, every game that I get to do here is an absolute pleasure and an honor, and I don't take it lightly. So I hope we can keep you entertained throughout this winter. Final score in game number 1. Briar Cliff women 69 and Doane 50. Final score in game number 2, Briar Cliff 74 and Doane 66. On behalf of the Sports Information Department here at Briar Cliff University, I'm Justin Barker saying good afternoon with the Chargers winning both ends of the doubleheader today. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you soon on the Charger Sports Network at bcuchargers.com. Good night.